So let's get started. So what are we going to do? What is this workshop all about? So in this workshop, what we'll do is we'll learn about user experience. That is basically creating, how to create digital products, and we'll try to understand what is the process that we as designers follow, and also how to learn more about the problems if you're working on certain problem or if you're working on enhancing a product. So what are the different steps, processes, methods that basically designers use when working on the product? So that is what we'll do. So now these are a few things that I'll try and cover. So what is user experience? What does user experience literally means? And why it is important for business and users? And given how the ecosystem is changing, everything is getting digital, businesses are moving online. So we'll try to understand how a better experience can really enhance the experience of the customer. And that's how, the businesses can engage better with the users, and thereby, increase revenue, retention, and so many other things. So we'll try to understand everything around that. And apart from that, as I said, we'll also understand what is process. That's basically, there are different processes that we follow, that we use when working on the products, and different artifacts, uh, different outputs, different activities, methods that we use. So we'll try to understand everything. Though I'll not be able to cover everything in deep, but yes, I'll try and give you a very high level, or maybe a medium level, let's say, an overview of everything that we do when working on products. So I'll also try to take a real use case. I'll share some examples, some problem statements by tomorrow, maybe in the group, and we'll post a poll. So you all can, select one, and then basis that, whichever gets the best or the highest rank, we'll work on that. Okay. So at the end, the UX designer works on creating a positive, engaging, and productive experience. That's what the objective is. Everybody aims to create a better experience. So we'll try to work on it and see how we can create great experiences. So who for whom this workshop is, who can learn from this workshop? So anybody who has got some experience in design, maybe graphic design, maybe in development, so they all can use this workshop, they all can learn from this workshop. And even if you don't want to pursue in UX, but still understanding this process will help you create or work on good products, be it as a developer, be it as a UX writer, or also as an interaction designer, UI designer. So everybody, will get benefited from this workshop, and it will help you expand your foundation of UX skills. So it will help you understand the the core foundation. What UX process means, and how it is used, and that will help you collaborate in a better way with the other teams, right? And also you will get to know what are the different activities, what are the different artifacts. For example, if somebody comes to you and say that, hey, we have to create persona for our target users, so you should know all those terms. So by attending this workshop, you will have a good sense of those things. And also at the end, I'll try to throw some light on the different career options or paths that you can opt for depending upon your interest. So yeah, this is at a very high level that I'll try and cover in the workshop. Now, going forward, yeah, we'll talk more about this. But before we move forward, this is me. I'm Manpreet Kalsi, and I have worked uh, in different companies, startups, corporates, with entrepreneurs, and so on. So, and have got good experience in design. So started as a graphic designer, went on to become art director, then worked in advertising agencies, then digital agencies, and in a product based company, and so on. So yeah, so I have good experience in this, and these are the different places where you can follow me. So that's my LinkedIn, that's my YouTube, that's my Instagram, and then finally the Meetup group, where I try and conduct events, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly. So yeah, so do subscribe if you can. Now let's understand what is user experience, because that's what it's all about, right? We are trying to understand, we are here to understand what is user experience. So now if I have to ask you, what is user experience, so what would you say? If you want to participate, and anybody wants to come up and explain what you understand by user experience, so you are free to do that. But yes, please raise your hand, and then I'll allow you to answer. So yeah, Shreyas. First Shreyas,
Yes,
and then Shivraj.
I guess user experience is about making your platform, whether it's a mobile application or a website,
Mm-hmm.
more user friendly so that they don't have the trouble navigating the app, and they should be able to understand each and every functioning well.
Perfect. Perfect. So that's great. So basically, it's all about creating good products. So yeah, I mean, like let's hear from Sivraj and then Shubham.
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, user experience is all about making things good or faster and easier for users to enhance their
Mhm.
experience and just lead them to their final goal, so that so that they can reach their final goal very easily, and our business will grow uh, likewise. So profit will be more if we increase the user experience.
Great, great, perfect. So now Shubham, let's hear from Shubham and then Harsh and then Vibhuti, and then we'll move on to the next. I'll try and explain like what it is. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning.
User experience is basically what we experience through the UI that we see. UI is basically what we see, and UX is what is what is the work done behind that what we see on the screens.
Okay, okay, great. So you talked about two things. So one is the UI and the other is the UX. Okay, so we'll try and understand the difference between the two also in the future sessions. So well said. So now let's move to who Vibhuti, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Vibhuti.
user experience is to consider the fact that the user needs to fulfill their needs through ease and comfort while using any
Mhm.
product, digital product.
Perfect. I think like everybody said correctly. So if we have to explain user experience, so it's all about the experience that the user gets when interacting with any product or any service, be it digital product or be it like any service like customer care and so on. So right, so that is basically the experience that the user gets when interacting with the product or the service. We'll talk more about that in the future sessions. So yeah, so those are few points. Very well said. So now let's also understand. So we are talking about user experience, right? And every day, like when working on different products or doing different things, we use a lot of these digital products. So what are the reasons, like why do we like few products, and why we keep going back to the same product and use it to perform different functions? And I mean, yes, it's not just like there's only one product, right? There's many similar products in the market, but we only end up using one product. Why? What is the reason? I mean, why that happens? Anybody? Let's make this interactive, and then I mean, like from the next sessions, it will be more of theory first and then practical. So today, let's make it little interactive.
Due to
Okay.
better user experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
The
it's very
product
yeah.
fulfill our requirements.
Okay, so that is basically the context in the sense like if I have a need and if the product is able to solve my need or basically meet my need, then yes, okay, fine. So anybody
Also,
else? Yeah,
also
yeah.
what I think is it's not about what are the things that have been abstracted to me as a user and how comfortable it makes me to use that product. Because I need
Mm,
not know so many things when I'm using the product.
right.
I think that part is what I'm
Okay,
inclining
so
towards.
I would like to add one thing. So basically, it's all about the familiarity and also the let's say the existing patterns, right? For example, if I'm using an e-commerce, then I would like to like experience or basically I as a user would want the same experience as the other applications what they offer, right? So basically is this similarity and the existing patterns behaviors. So perfect. So let's see what other people have to say or add. Who wants to go? Shubham, Akshay, we have Akshay. Yes, you can go. Okay, Narendra or Dalip.
Hi Manpreet, good morning.
Good morning, Dalip. Yeah.
So this is I think this is a very common thing that we experience. For
Hmm.
example, the greatest example on this planet would be Apple. The kind
Hmm.
of experience that people draw out of the Apple products and the kind of habit they form along with using the products and you can say the relatability and the way the experiences have been designed in such a simple manner, and they have brought this Apple ecosystem into the place so that you get so much addicted to it. So you definitely would want to go back, because as humans, we don't want to change. So if we are in the liking of a product, then we would like to continue for
Yeah.
the experience and joy of the product.
Perfect, perfect. So, I mean, there's a theory called as Theory X. Okay. Theory X states that people are lazy. So nobody wants to learn new things. Nobody wants to put effort. So the best way to like make them use your product is to make things easy for them. Okay. Yeah, Dilip, sorry. Continue, please.
Sorry, that was it. So
Okay.
I didn't know the theory X, but I think that was one of my observation behind this.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's good. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, yeah, Janvi or Mukul.
Yeah, hi.
Ah,
So
yeah.
basically, like let's take an example of Amazon. So what they have done is
Mhm.
they have created a user experience. They have created a flow for us, and we are so familiar with it. We are so hands-on with it that we don't want to use, different things. As you said, we are lazy. So it's some things are fixed in our mind. So we like using those products only, or which perform in a similar way, rather than trying new stuff.
Wonderful. So the takeaway here is what? I mean, try to create or basically mimic, or I mean, if you're working on something that's I mean that's already exists in the market, for example e-commerce experience, so here in that case you should not reinvent the wheel, you should go with the existing experience, right? So that is what I think is the takeaway here. Perfect. So now let's see
So in a way,
Ashish.
so just
Yeah.
I would like to add a little bit. So I think
Hmm.
they have all these big companies, they have mapped the mind patterns, how the human mind is responding, how we generally interact with the websites, microsites, and the experiences with different products and services. So they just try and map the mind patterns with the product so that they gain out of it. So
Perfect,
and
perfect,
that's the reason behind the successful products.
perfect. So the
Uh,
best way to do is what? I mean mimic, as I said, right? I mean
Yeah.
take inspiration
Sir,
from the existing experience. Yes.
hello. Yeah,
Yeah,
one
hi.
more thing I'd like to add. Sorry to interrupt you. Uh,
That's fine.
I think like yeah, I think it's also like when you start using a product. For example, I'm using PhonePe for payments,
Hmm.
and until and unless and when the next product is launched, like Google Pay comes in the market, until and unless it will provide me something as something more useful or something better experience than the previous one, I won't be switched into that. So it's also like when you using a product, the next product should be more disrupting as compared to the previous product, or like has a more better experience or put some reward or make some other kind of value for me so that I'll be shifting
Hmm.
towards
Hmm.
other product. Otherwise, it will be same.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that means what? The value that the user wants for all his in or her investment should be more, right, than the investment. So basically, if the user has spent, let's say, X dollars or X rupees, so then the return should be more than the X rupees. The value should be more, right? So then only the user will go and use the product. So yeah, perfect.
And also want to add one point here,
Yeah.
that actually these big companies like LinkedIn, Google, they are actually solving a daily, or can say the problems that people facing in a day-to-day life. For
Hmm.
example, if we take an example of LinkedIn, so they are solving problem to reduce the unemployment.
Hmm.
Actually means actually it's
Correct.
providing a job opportunities, and so I think that is the reason that LinkedIn is so popular.
Hmm. Hmm. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And also you should understand that these big companies, big corporates, right, they have been spending so much money, they had over the years, I mean, on research, on understanding human psychology, on understanding what works, what does not work, right? So that's why as a designer we should learn from these big players, right? So that is what we should always do. So perfect. So
Manpreet,
yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. Sorry, sir.
Hmm.
I have a
Yeah, please.
question.
Yeah.
So, this is a question to all the people in this room. So, what I feel is Amazon has the worst UX in all the e-com sites as compared to all the e-com sites. For example, if you would want to search for a Nike shoe or anything in very specific, you will never get a good result or a good thing how they have cataloged it as compared to a Flipkart or a Myntra or any other e-com like Ajio or anything. But despite of that, they have a very bad UX. They sell the most. So just wanted to, out of curiosity, that what is the reason behind it that it sells the most, but it has the worst UI and UX?
I think
mean,
it's discount.
Yeah.
I think the point is
I have-
discount.
Okay.
They are
Okay.
continuously
Let's.
providing discount, and actually it's popular. From start it is popular.
Okay.
I
Let's hear
think
from
it's
others also.
not.
Hello.
I think it's not much about, hello. I think it's not much about discount. I think it's more about Flipkart is basically used for electronic products. Like Myntra is used for clothing and all. So Amazon also has its category. And apart from that, Amazon is like catering to much larger amount of target users. Like a 10-year-old is also using an Amazon, and a 60-year-old is also using an Amazon. So they have to cater the US so that all their target to all the demographic, all the geographic people can cater into the funnel. So they have to make it as simple as possible, and they are not much focused on the UI part of the thing. Instead, they
Yeah.
are more into the like how they can cater the larger amount of users into that funnel. So I guess that
Yeah.
is it.
I think this is well said. Good. So I would also like to add it, like, the UX is good. Only the UI is very basic. So that's what I mean. But it's fine. I mean, at the end, the user should get like what he comes for, right? I mean, and I think like the search also works good, Dalip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in terms of filtration and everything, I found this search to be very abstract. If you search for a Nike, you might get a Relaxo. That is how the abstract the search can get. And if you search for an HP, then you'll probably get a Dell or an Alienware.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I
I
thought
mean,
correct.
that's
Actually, they have actually appeared the similar product also. Yeah, it is
I
actually agreed,
know.
but Amazon has so many categories. That's why actually Amazon retention rate is also high,
There are
and their
millions of
churn rate
products.
is low.
Yeah, there are millions of
Yeah,
products.
and
so,
And
actually,
it's very,
yeah,
so,
there are
so
so many.
there are many things
Ask
happening in the
about
backend. You need to understand that. Yeah.
what you
wonderful. I think like this has
what
been a
you
good
asked about
discussion. So I mean, like we got some good reasons, right? Good examples. So let me summarize that. So these are few of the reasons like why some products people like using while they don't like using other products. So what are those? So these are some of the factors. So this is like some proposed by Peter Marvel. So basically he came up with this concept of user experience honeycomb. So he says that at the core of UX is ensuring that users find value in what you are providing to them. So if they are with they're on your product with some intention, with some reason, then you should try and provide them the value. Okay, so and how can you provide them value? By offering these things. What are those? So these are basically one, yes, the product should be useful. So that means product needs to be simple and easy to use, right? So your product should be easy to use and should not involve, I mean, a lot of effort or learning and so on. So yeah, your product should have minimal, easy to use experience. The second is it should be usable. So user comes with a need. So your product should solve or fulfill the need, right? So that is basically usable. Desirable means what? As we were talking about, the UI, the look and the feel. So those should be good, right? So that is basically desirable. And findable is basically like Dalip was talking about the search. So if the user is there on a product or on the website to find a product, then yes, your product, in this case, let's say the website, should offer that functionality and the experience. And accessibility is basically taking care of all the accessibility so that anybody and everybody should or is able to find the right thing and access all the information. And then last but not the least is the credible. So the product, the service should be from a reliable or from a credible company, from a company whom you as a user or the customer can trust, and so on. So yeah, so these are some reasons, very common, and I mean, and these are really good reasons, like, right? So your products should be useful. People should be able to use your product. It should be something that people should long for. I mean, like you, and should be willing to use and should desire. and also easy to use, basically in the sense like should be able to find everything, and accessibility should also be an important part of that, and it should come from a good company. So these are some of the reasons. So you can create a note or take a print screen of this. So yeah, so these are some of the reasons.